Hello, sweet star, and welcome to this reading. In this reading, we are getting to hear from Mother Moon her message of what nurturing do you need right now? I'm so excited to be able to do this reading. The Cancer full moon is shining in my window right behind me, on me, as I channel this message from Mother Moon in honor of the Cancer full moon. She's very excited. I woke up this morning like just shot awake, and I needed to translate her energy. She was very insistent that there was a message, and with a teensy bit of getting my own resistance out of the way, here we are to deliver this message of nurturing that you need right now. So to do this, and it is a timeless reading if you're finding it at a time other than the Cancer full moon, to do this reading, we are going to pick out 3 piles together. There's those. That'll be 3, 2, and 1. All right, so these are our 3 main piles. Let's see what we have. For pile number 1, we have Hubba Hubba. That's gonna be a good one. There isn't a soul on the planet who doesn't crave your approval. Interesting. So that's pile number 2. And pile number 3, you'll find what you seek. And a cat hair for good luck. Okay. All right, so there are our 3 piles. And there are timestamps down in the description box that you are more than welcome to hop right to the reading that is calling to you, and I will meet you there. Otherwise, if you would like to stay and hang out while I pick our piles and the rest of the cards that want to be a part of these messages, that is wonderful too. I love the pile picking process. The shuffling and the holding the intention and allowing the cards that want to come through to do so, and to allow all of us together to receive this energy from Mother Moon. She's very excited today. Woke me up. It was like 4:30 this morning. She's like, all right, that's enough. And one more oracle card here. What nurturing does your soul need right now? Thank you. So here we will also pull a few tarot cards from these 2 decks. What nurturing do you need right now? Right now, nurturing that Mother Moon would like to provide for you to help you feel better. All right. There's actually more that want to come out of here. Okay. Alrighty. So we'll get our piles cleaned up here. For pile number 1, we have Hubba Hubba. For pile number 2, we have There isn't a soul on the planet who doesn't crave your approval. And for pile number 3, we have you'll find what you seek. All right, the timestamps are in the description box, and I'll meet you there. Hi, pile number 1. So you have chosen Hubba Hubba, and let's see what else we have on this card. You know that dreamy look of deep, soulful love you've sometimes seen in the eyes of another as they gazed into your own? Expect a lot more of it. Woo! The universe. Oh, well, that's nice. A message of a lot more love coming into your life. Not that you haven't been loved in the past, but sounds like something is about to unleash, and you are set to be the recipient of a lot more love coming your way, a lot more adoration coming your way. I'm so excited to see what is in the rest of these cards. So let's set the tarot cards to the side and have a look-see at these oracle cards and see where we wind up. So we have the Earth and Air Dragon. Represents a perfect balance of heaven and earth. Stay balanced, ground your visions, manifest your hopes and dreams. That is beautiful. Heaven on earth. That actually reminds me of something that came through Dolores Cannon's material, where she talks a lot about the new earth, and part of what came through from higher consciousness through her hypnotized subjects. I don't know what you would call those, friends, clients, is that the new earth sparkles. The new earth is a paradise, and it sparkles. And this morning, when I was just about to start the reading, I noticed that the Cancer full moon is shining in my window just behind me, and I had to go out there. I had to go out there and look at it. And so I go outside. It's very cold, and there's a hard frost on the ground, and the moonlight is so bright that it was like making the frost on the grass sparkle. It looked like diamonds on the ground under the moonlight. And in that moment, I remembered the new earth sparkles. And in that moment, I knew for certain I'm standing in the new earth right now. Right here, right now. Grounding heaven into earth. This is part of the nurturing you need right now, but let's see how it fits in with the rest of everything else as far as like what exactly is trying to come through. So we have winter, a time for turning inward, rest in silence. It is winter right now, especially at the Cancer full moon. It's always winter, well, in the northern hemisphere at least. And we have gazelle. Okay. Let's add our tarot cards and see what else has come through for you. So first up, we have the Queen of Cups. We have the Nine of Swords. We have the Devil. We have the Seven of Swords and Temperance. And the Knight of Pentacles. Okay. What nurturing do you need right now? Honestly, I'm feeling a very tender heart, a very like, I mean, you're intact, but it's like bruised, a little sore, feeling like it's a winter as far as connections and inspiration, and just kind of like a slower moving energy. slower moving time, and that because of that, in the slowness, there's a lot of like old stories and old beliefs and old energy able to come to the surface because there's kind of this open space. And I'm very, very, very much understanding that every ounce of that that is coming to the surface is to allow for the light of your expanded leading edge self to shine on whatever those pieces are that are coming to the surface. Whatever kind of self-talk is coming up, or worries or fears or painful past moments of possibly even regret of doing things you wish you would have done things differently. And all of that is rising to the surface right now so that you can free yourself from that old energy. And that, honestly, it's so, like, it's so straightforward that if we will bring our pain out into the light, it is automatically transformed. And in that transformation, you are lighter, you are more open, your energy field is more clear, there's more light than there was darkness. And it is in that transmutation, it is in that recalibration of your energy that is opening up your receptivity wider and wider and wider and wider. And it's very clear to me as well that you are already extremely receptive. You're already extremely intuitive, extremely, how do I say that? Like downloading a lot. There's already a ton that's coming to you already, like through the mundane moment to moment experience of your life. There are revelations, there are synchronicities, there are signs, there are messages. Like there's already so much coming. And the part that feels like what are we nurturing here is, I'm seeing especially like a mother figure. I mean, we're dealing with the full moon in Cancer, so it wouldn't be surprising if this is healing the mother line in your family somewhat, that like there's unresolved trauma between you and your mom. And if that doesn't exactly land, I would also say like kind of the primary caregiver who raised you. And so if that wasn't your mom, it could absolutely be that primary parental figure, which is typically the mother energy. And so through that mother energy, there were some deep, deep cuts. Sweet star. She convinced you of some falsehoods that in part you're still holding on to. And because she's your mom, it's so natural to believe what she says. And especially the smaller you are, the younger you are, like that parental authority, you don't even think to question it. It's just not even natural to push back on that authority as a very small child. And it was in those years, those really, really formative years, the first 6 or 7 years of your life, that she really warped your sense of self. She really warped your view of yourself. Like I'm seeing a mirror with like almost like somebody punched it in the middle and then it cracked all out and around. And now when you look at yourself, you don't see a clear reflection of who you are. You see all of these fragmented little pieces, no full picture has emerged. And I'm seeing that this Cancer full moon and like this moment in your life of healing and self-nurturing and reparenting yourself is one at a time. Like it looks like those little cracks on the mirror are being filled in with like liquid mirror, and so like every shard is like kind of becoming like collapsing back into one cohesive picture. And that through that reintegrating of all of those fragments, that is what is allowing this love to come to you. Like basically what I'm understanding is that you're already loved. You are already adored more than way more than you understand. And it's not because they're not showing you, it's that broken mirror that does not allow you to see yourself clearly, so it does not make sense how much they love you. There's a gap, there's an imbalance in how much love you think you deserve compared to how much love they're giving you. And in order to receive the love that you want, it's not about being given more love. You're already being given a lot of love. The trick is to raise up how much love you think you deserve so you can even witness and receive what it is that they're giving. Right now it's like this. And it doesn't have to be, and it's ending. Like this winter card, winter is a time of turning inward, resting, and recalibrating, reflecting, going deep inside of yourself, where on the surface it may not look like you're doing anything productive, but spring and summer don't come without winter, without allowing. Again, I always go back to crops when I think about the seasons. I was raised in an agricultural community, so like the ground does not contain the nutrients to be able to grow crops and grow food cycle after cycle after cycle after cycle. Like there's a very clear downtime where after you use the ground to grow some corn or whatever it is that you grew, after you harvest the crop, there's a very natural downtime where the ground is resting, where nutrients are building back up in the soil. And when you get your ground really depleted because all the crops that you've grown and grown and grown and grown have just pulled the nutrients out of the soil over and over and over and over again, if you get to the point where the soil is nutrient depleted, you may even have to fallow that field for a growing season, which means you're going to take a growing season off. Another way to say that, like in a human realm, would be like, just because you can go to this next thing, and just because you can, let's say you're the example that came to mind, like let's say your friend invites you to go to Vegas this weekend and you don't have anything planned. Just because you can go doesn't mean you should, right? And that's like the piece that needs nurtured, is like in this fragmented reflection that you have of yourself, there can be like just kind of a difficult process to really get a good picture of how you're doing, how your energy's holding up, how your needs are currently met or unmet. Because you're so fragmented, it's like, well, I have to go look at like this fragmented piece and what does it need and what does that want, and then this fragmented piece, and like kind of add it all together. And it's like really labor intensive to like figure out where you're at and what you need. But in this Cancer full moon energy, or the energy of this reading that's coming through, there really is like this sense of liquid mirror that is being poured in all the cracks that is allowing this mirror to come back and be one cohesive image that you have of yourself. And it is love. It is love. And it goes back again to, you are being loved, but you are not letting yourself. You're not believing that you deserve it. You're believing something closer to, I haven't earned it yet. I haven't been good enough yet. And that's not true. That is the punch in the middle of the mirror that somebody put there that shattered your self-image into a million pieces, to where the love was no longer dominant. Lola, I'm coming. So I'm very much getting the sense that the nurturing that you need right now is to be told and reassured that that mother figure, that primary caregiver, she was wrong. She was wrong. That authority figure was wrong. They were actually full of shit, is what they were. They were in pain with their own wounds that they were not willing to face. And rather than face the parts of themselves that were hurting them, they projected that pain onto you and made it about you. And the damage to your mirror, to your self-image, like what you think of yourself, has been done. And as far as going back and rehashing the past and the betrayal of that motherly figure, like, our mom is supposed to love us. Our mom is supposed to be one of the most unconditionally loving presences in our life. And she was not. And in that way, you were gypped, you were failed. you did not receive that from her. And none of that is to say that I hate to put it in these words, but these are the only words that are coming, is like, it wasn't wrong. It wasn't wrong that she treated you that way. It wasn't wrong that she wasn't strong enough to heal herself. And she wasn't strong enough to reach unconditional love. But it's also extremely clear that you are. You are. And that's where we go back to that reparenting piece of you becoming the mother that you never had. And what I feel most present in that for you is grief. And that seems pretty appropriate, that we would need to go through a grieving cycle of, you know, when our mom treats us that way, it really does set us up to think that we're the piece of shit, that we must not be worthy of love. And that could not be further from the truth. And the nurturing that you need right now is to ground into how much Mother Moon unconditionally loves you, how loved you are all the time. And that one human's reflection, I don't care if it is your mom, I don't care if it's your partner, I don't care if it's your kid, I don't care who it is. Mother Moon does not care who this human is. They cannot see you clearly. No matter who they are, whether they're loving you or hating you, they can't see you clearly. They are looking through their own cracked mirror. Almost every single one of us have these distortions in our perception. Your mom had her own distortions in her perception. Her mirror was already cracked long before you came into the picture. And then she took that cracked mirror and she looked at you through it. And she saw fragmented bits of who you were, and so much of it fell through the cracks, and she didn't have a good sense at all of who you were, the soul you were, the love you deserved. She couldn't see it because she wasn't capable, not because you're not love. Pile number 1, this got deep. It got so deep. I was not expecting that with that, but I can tell you for certain with this gazelle energy coming out, like, there is a like going back to, it's not wrong that this was the path you came through, that this was the path you chose to come through, that, you know, this parental figure, this mother figure, was the co-creator that you had the soul pact with. None of that is wrong, because what it's allowing you to do is to uncover this grace with healing, this grace with pain, this grace with working with those broken self-images, of healing your own self-image and then helping others to do the same. That by healing your own self-image, your perception becomes clearer, and then you're better able to see the truth of who others are. And that you have such a grace and such a wisdom about you when it comes to looking for the love that others are. And the reason is because she so blatantly missed the love that you are, and you know the pain of that. You know it so personally, and it was not for nothing, because the way you see the love that others are will change their lives. It will. And you seeing the love that you are will be the catalyst to that. You healing your own mirror and seeing that you are actually an extension of the unconditional love that is source energy. The unconditional love that is at the core of every single one of us. And you, pile number one, have a talent for seeing it in yourself and in other people. And if you're well along the way of seeing it in yourself, great job. I understand the work that you have put in to heal that self-image and be able to see yourself clearly. And if you haven't begun yet to see the love, the unconditional love that is at the core of your being, I'm gonna put a recommendation underneath your timestamp. If you feel like checking it out, if you feel called there, please check it out. I would love for you to do that. It's on my other channel, Owning Authenticity. If it doesn't land to go check it out, then don't worry about it. Pile number one, this has been your reading. This has been your nurturing that you need right now, and it has been my honor to deliver it to you. Pile number one, if you liked your reading, please give it a thumbs up. I would love to hear from you down below how all of this landed. If your intuition is guiding you elsewhere into a different pile or anything like that, please trust it. I have no doubt it knows exactly what you need to hear right now. And I will catch you on the next reading. Bye. Hi, pile number two, and welcome to your reading. So you have chosen, there isn't a soul on the planet who doesn't crave your approval. This is so interesting. I'm so excited to see what is on the back of this card. The only difference between a friend and a foe is that you've decided where love can grow. Ho, the universe. The only difference between a friend and a foe is that you've decided where love can grow. Interesting. Okay, well, let's see what else your oracle cards have to offer before we get into your tarot cards. So we have Golden Orange Dragon, expands your light for ascension, be a peaceful warrior, help those in need, remember your magnificence. That is beautiful. And he's got like a book and some pages and like a feather pen here that just like really jumped out at me, like there's something to write. Let us see, or maybe even just the act of writing would be nurturing to you right now. Let's see what the rest of the cards have. So we have number 4, Mother Earth, forge a new alliance with nature. Okay. And your animal spirit card is frog. So like on this, I'm really seeing like what looks like rain, possibly like this water that's like raining down on the frog. And I kind of get the sense that you feel out in the rain, out in the cold a little bit at this time, a lot because of possibly a foe, an enemy or an opponent of some kind coming into your world, and that there is absolutely an opportunity within it. But let's see if a little bit of nurturing, let's see what your tarot cards have to add, and then a little bit of nurturing that might help us relax into what is the opportunity that's being presented here. So we have, let's just turn all those. We have the Six of Cups. We have the Five of Cups. We have the Four of Swords. We have Strength. And the Lovers. And like I did for pile number 1, I'm going to take, actually we're going to take those. Oh my. That's fine. That's what we got. Okay, let's see. We have the Ten of Pentacles. We have the Three of Wands. And let's keep these two for clarification. We'll know when those are meant to be used. So what nurturing do you need right now? The first thing that I'm getting is that there's a sense of disappointment in a connection that you've had for a long time. There's like the sense that you're seeing somebody that you thought was your friend, and they possibly said something to you or did something to you that really surprised you and really almost like disillusioned you about who they are. And in that disillusionment, there's a little bit of disappointment in your energy around that connection. And what I'm seeing here is basically the main message that's coming through from Mother Moon is no pain is ever wasted. No pain is ever delivered to you unless it serves a purpose in your journey. And so this connection with this other person who has, kind of provided the raw material for this disappointment is absolutely bringing you to what? Let's see. The Queen of Wands and the Seven of Pentacles. Okay, so let's keep those there. All right. So, yeah, there's very much a level up here. I mean, I think we saw it here with, we have Ascension mentioned, expands your light for ascension. We have forge a new alliance with nature. So there's very much like this sense of, yes, there may be disappointment. There may be like, how could they do that to me? How could they say that to me? Why would they treat me like this? Those are some of the thoughts I'm hearing in your energy, and just kind of like a disbelief, like, what the hell? Like, why did this happen? And I'm very much getting the sense that they are playing a very important role in a new horizon that you are moving towards, this new light on the horizon that speaks of not having been there before, but a definite readiness to go there. And the thing about other people is when we cast our attention on another person, we are coming up out of our own energy and we are diving into the energy that we share with this other person, or possibly even just their energy, leaving ourselves completely behind. And I'm not sure like which one you've done, especially since this is a general reading, but I am understanding that this person is helping you to recenter and go deeper into the core of who you really are. That their reflection did not feel good, And there can be such a tendency at that point to want to dive into this other person's energy and understand, why did they treat me this way? Why did this happen? What did I do wrong? And it's not wrong. It's really, really, really not wrong. They're like, focusing into their energy was not getting you where you needed to go, where it is that you ultimately want to be in your expanded self, full of love and full of light. Looking at that reflection that they provided was somewhat holding you back. And them altering that reflection so that it was more painful and less loving and less approving of you. Yes, it hurts to receive that, but at the same time, it like, when you lay your hand on a surface and it feels fine, you stay right there. And when you lay your hand on a surface and it's hot, you yank your hand away instantly. And so when something hurts us, it is very much like guiding us in the different direction. If something is painful, that's not aligning with the core of the love that you are. And it's asking you to turn in a different direction, in the direction of a new horizon with more light to it. And that absolutely you're ready for this. You're ready for this with the Ten of Pentacles and these cards emerging. You've already put a lot of work into this journey, Seven of Pentacles, and there is some left. And what is left, I'm seeing very much this Lover's card here. There's a choice. There's a choice to make, and it goes perfectly actually with this guy. The only difference between a friend and a foe is that you've decided where love can grow. And the Lover's card, it represents a choice. It represents a choice. Do you want this one or do you want this one? And really, a lot of the times our choices are based on where we think the greatest potential for love and happiness lies for us, and that we let that guide our choices. And here, I'm very much getting the sense that the nurturing that you need right now is, one, let yourself feel this. Come back in to the center of you and feel whatever's there. And like this rain falling on the frog, like, if that means that there are tears that need to be cried, if that means that there's something to write, like processing your emotions in your journal or something like that, there's some kind of inner space to return to. And especially Four of Swords represents kind of like turning in on yourself and letting go of trying to talk it out with other people, and just resting and licking your own wounds and healing yourself, because it's nobody else's job to heal you. And so I see like all of that kind of swirling in this choice that you have of, do you want to stay dove into this other person's energy trying to figure out why would they hurt you like this? Or do you want to come back into the center of your own energy and treat yourself the way that you know you deserve to be treated? It's not really for us to get others to treat us in a particular way. It's not for others to respect our boundaries. It's not for others to meet our needs. It is our job to do all of those things. It's our job to know and respect our own boundaries. And if someone is treating you in a way that you don't deserve, then at that point, the choice is, do you continue to expose yourself to that person? Do you leave your heart open to that person? Or do you withdraw and retreat into your own energy where you can always give yourself the love that you deserve? Other people may not be willing to give it to you, but you can always give it to you if you decide, if you choose to turn inward. And like Queen of Wands, I always think of like using our magic on ourselves Like, you have so much love and wisdom to give in this world, and I feel very much that you love to give that love and wisdom away to other people. But in this message, the nurturing that you need right now is to take that magic, that love, and that wisdom and turn it on yourself. Give yourself the benefit of your own magic in this moment, and watch how even our foes, even our enemies or our opponents, the people who don't treat us the way that we think we deserve to be treated, they are helping to open more light inside of us. When we are denied the love we know we deserve out in the physical, we are more likely to find it inside of ourselves. And that is pile number 2, the opportunity that is presenting itself. Is that you have the chance here inside of this moment, inside of this pain, to dig deeper and find even more light inside of you. And when you tap into that light inside of you at a deeper level, not only does it help to resolve the pain to do with this one person in this particular incident, but it also is then, it's there all the time. It's there to give it away if you feel like it. You can give and give and give to your heart's content, but you also deserve that loving attention that you have. And if someone else isn't willing to provide you with loving attention, you can always count on you. And that is the message from Mother Moon, is that you can, and that you are like definitely teetering kind of back and forth between really being super stable inside of your own light and providing your own encouragement and love, and then sometimes slipping back into this tendency to look for that from other people. And that the nurturing of turning your magic on yourself is, I see it just kind of like a final tipping point where you are very grounded and rooted inside of being filled with light from the inside out. That you're no longer seeking the light of other people. And so when they don't have it to offer to you, there's still the potential for love. Like what this says, like there's the only difference between a friend and a foe is that you've decided where love can grow. And when someone doesn't give you love, I'm seeing as you tip into this more grounded place inside of your light, as someone else is unloving towards you, it doesn't pull you out of your love. That is the level of stability that is opening up in your world, pile number 2, thanks to the foe who has started this entire contemplation that you're currently sitting inside. So you almost got to look at them in their unloving state and say, thank you. Thank you for being so unable to love me in this moment that I had to retreat inside of myself to find the love that I so desperately needed. Thank you for reminding me where my love actually comes from. Thank you. Thank you, dear foe. I love you so much for the pain that you're feeling, that you shared with me, that helped me to go and find even more of my own love and sustenance. Thank you. Pile number 2, this has been your reading. If you liked it, please give me a thumbs up down below. I would love to hear from you how all of this landed. If your intuition is guiding you into one of the other piles, or possibly even the song that I have linked below your timestamp, please feel free to check that out now, and I will catch you in the next reading. Bye. Hi, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. You have chosen this beautiful card. You'll find what you seek. Let's start by seeing what is on the other side. If you've ever suddenly found and been loved by someone amazing, awesome, fun, and fantastic, chances are astronomical you will again. If you haven't yet found such a person, chances are astronomical you will. It's up to you, the universe. If you've ever suddenly found and been loved by someone amazing, awesome, fun, and fantastic, chances are astronomical you will again. If you haven't yet found such a person, chances are astronomical you will. The universe is always very optimistic that things will go well for us. I absolutely love it. So let's see what else has shown up for you, pile number 3, as far as what nurturing do you need right now? Oh, how cute. We have the Sunshine Yellow Dragon. Helps you to help animals, serve animals, heal, respect, and understand them. That is beautiful. And there's like a little baby deer in there and a little chipmunk or a squirrel or something. A couple of birds up there. That's precious. That's precious. And that, oh my gosh, that feels really good. So this person that's coming to you, I think that's pretty obvious. That's exactly what this is saying. The person that's coming to you is going to see you like this precious. Like you're the precious one and they are the Sunshine Yellow Dragon circling you in their light, in their love. Oh boy, pile number 3. That's really exciting. We have, number 1, intuition. Intuition is the messenger of your destiny. Follow it. So pretty loud and clear message there of heeding the call, following your impulses. Like I think your most recent example is clicking on this reading. The fact that you're even here right now to receive this message, your intuition has orchestrated this for you. So we already know that you are very good at following your intuition and that is how this person will cross your path, right? Like meeting these people, it's just a matter of timing and the circumstances unfolding. And so much of timing is just, are you in the right place at the right time? And how do you do that? You listen to your intuition. Your intuition doesn't have to give you its logic. It doesn't have to explain itself. It doesn't have to tell you why you need to go to Hobby Lobby all of a sudden. It doesn't need to tell you why you should go to dinner by yourself at that particular restaurant right now. It doesn't have to tell you those things. It just has to give you the impulse, and then it's on you to follow it. And following those impulses will put you in the right place at the right time. And this other person is also following their impulses. So you never know. Like that's the situation that I'm seeing, is like you both got the impulse on the same exact night to like go to this particular restaurant and eat by yourself at the bar, and then they show up and they're eating right next to you at the bar. And like that's the person. And why are you here? I don't know, I felt like it. Why are you here? I don't know, I felt like it. And feeling like it puts you right next to them. You didn't know that dinner alone at the bar at that restaurant was gonna seat you next to your beloved, but you went because it was your intuition telling you, and that's what you do. So it's not about finding that person, it's about learning to listen to and trust the messages coming through your intuition. And again, the fact that you're even listening to this reading tells me that you're already awesome at trusting your intuition, and there's a level up coming in that vein of like kind of nurturing and loving you into trusting it even a little bit more than what you're already used to. So we have the beaver. Love that. Let's see what else is in your tarot cards here. So we have, let's see, the 9 of Wands. We have the Knight of Cups. That's like such a perfect card for this reading. That's like, this person's coming. This person who adores you and is like lit up with divinity at the very thought of you already. They're already dreaming about meeting you, and you're about to meet them. And then here they are treating you like the most precious thing in the world. Oh my gosh, pile number 3, like what nurturing do you need right now? Like what am I even saying? I mean, it seems like it's really, really positive and you're on the verge of something like even more positive. Let us see, what else do we have? The Empress. So fertility and being pregnant with something new, like definitely giving us these vibes of new love coming into your experience. We have the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands showed up in the last pile as well. And we have the Sun. So gosh dang it, pile number 3. It seems like life is going really well for you at this moment. But just like I did for the piles before, I want to take another card for this spot. We have the King of Pentacles. My goodness, this is such a positive reading. Such a positive reading. I feel like I need just like a whole nother message of like, what is the nurturing that I am meant to deliver right now? Because all I see is like you and your authentic light coming into the physical, you being loved deeply for that light, you possessing a lot of strength that is allowing all of this to happen, strength that you've cultivated over many trials and tribulations. Those trials and tribulations weren't for nothing, and that's one thing I can tell you, is that there's almost like just a teensy bit more of making peace with your past that will open up your intuition that much more. Because following our intuition, ooh, here we go, okay. Following our intuition is a matter of trusting those impulses. It's a twofold matter, actually. One, being able to feel them, and two, being able to trust them. And I'm hearing very much that you feel your intuition loud and clear. That's never been the problem. The problem has been trusting it or not trusting it. And while you are already very good at trusting your intuition, there is something more that is opening up here through this reading and through your life right now, the timing that you're finding this message, that is allowing your authentic light, the core essence of your soul, to shine more freely through you. And that is part of what is allowing you to trust your intuition more and more. And so much of that has to do with making peace with the choices of your past self. Lightening up a little bit on the choices of your past self. Like, they were doing their best at the time, and maybe that meant that they felt the intuition and they ignored it. And then there was a painful experience that came because of ignoring your gut feeling about a situation. It's like those things are how we learn. To listen to our intuition is when we feel it, we don't listen to it, and then something bad happens. Like when we ignore our gut feeling and we walk right into a trap, or we walk right into an attack or something like that. It's like that pain is not for nothing. That pain is not a sign that you have failed. That pain is a message that next time maybe you listen to your gut feeling. Right? We can't ever go back in time and retroactively fix anything that our past self did. We can only gain the clarity and the wisdom of understanding how did it play out throughout the full course of what happened. And if I was in that situation again in the future, what would I do differently? What would I do differently? So to make peace with our past, one, what did you learn from that experience? Two, what did it open in terms of your abilities, your self-trust, your self-love, your self-worth? Like, what did the experience open up for you? And three, how would you handle that situation differently should it present itself again? And at that point, the situation presenting itself again isn't a bad thing. Again, this is no sign of failure. This is a sign that you're ready to try again. You're ready to be presented with the same gut feeling, the same red flag, or whatever you want to call it. And now you have the choice. Once again, do you listen to your gut, or do you ignore it and walk right ahead anyway? And that's the opportunity, that's the option. And what we're seeing here is that heeding your intuition is going to lead you into more and more and more and more and more loving places and people and friendships and relationships. And that by following your intuition, you're actually seeking these connections with your higher self. These people that feed your soul, these people that not only tolerate you, but freaking celebrate the preciousness that you are. Like, think about how you feel about animals, especially your familiars, any animals that you have sharing your life, think about how you feel about them. Like how precious, how cute, how sweet. Like they just can't do anything wrong. Like every single thing they do is so cute, you just can't help but love them. That is exactly how these people feel about you. About you. You are the precious one. You are the sweetest, cutest thing they've ever seen. They can't even take their eyes off of you. Pile number 3. Oh my gosh. Like who doesn't want to be loved like that? Tell me. Tell me this. Let's go ahead and get another message though. I feel like, what is the nurturing, specific nurturing? Let's get really specific. What is the specific nurturing that you need right now? And these ones and that one. Okay. That's a little more than I thought, but that is okay. All right, so we have the High Priestess. The High Priestess is all about what we can feel and what we can sense, but that we can't see it yet. And so as far as like a nurturing message, like a kind of a push, a little nudge to like lean into your intuition, the High Priestess showing up is a beautiful confirmation of that. We have the Nine of Swords. Okay, we'll come back to that. That gave me a very clear hit. We have the Eight of Cups. Okay, we have the Page of Pentacles. We have the Six of Cups. That's the second time that's shown up in this reading, a different pile, but. And we have the King of Swords. Okay. So the first thing, this one was easily the most severe hit that I got. The Nine of Swords, it goes perfectly with this High Priestess. So as I said, you have never had a problem feeling your intuition. The only hurdle that you've faced is whether or not you can trust your intuition. And I'm getting a very clear sense that the reason trusting your intuition has been so difficult is because other people gave you stories about yourself where they taught you that your intuition is wrong. They convinced you that your intuition is false, that you're crazy, that basically they gaslit you, that what you're feeling, what you're sensing, it's not reality. It doesn't match with reality. Get out of here with that. It's not real. This was how they treated you. And so you learned that your intuition's not real. Like you can feel it loud and clear, but does it matter? Does it make sense? Does it move you in one way or another? It does now more than ever before in your life, but there's still this level of healing and grieving and almost like another, again, a sense of disillusionment to those people who convinced you of that. They're wrong, right? Like when they said your intuition doesn't match reality, you believed them, but what was really going on is that their version of reality didn't match reality. You were seeing reality, like what was actually real, and they couldn't see, and because they couldn't see, they told you you're wrong because that's not what I see. And I'm seeing this overall sense of like there's a lot coming to the surface as far as why you don't trust your intuition in the first place. That's a deep can of worms. That's like a can of shadow pieces, a can of all the fragmented parts, all the pieces that somebody chiseled and chipped away from you and your self-worth, your self-validation by invalidating you and telling you your intuition was wrong. And that there is a release. And I wouldn't be surprised at all if it's like today or, like the day that you're finding this message, because this Eight of Cups matches our Cancer full moon energy very, very well as far as seeing and releasing the painful pieces of your past, the pieces that no longer serve you, having some kind of cathartic release around them, like really crying it out that your mom doesn't understand your intuition or whatever the case was, like whoever that person was that taught you that you were so wrong and so misguided all the time. Pile number 3, let me be the one to tell you they didn't know what they were talking about. They didn't. And you believed them because that's what we do. We believe our parents when we're small, and that there's like a full circle moment happening here where Instead of being so quick to listen to what others think about you and your intuition and your guidance and your inner flow of like you knowing which way to go in any given moment, instead of listening to them, I feel you really, really rising into your own higher mind, like this King of Swords, like being up on the mountaintop where really maybe you do have some familiars around you, like animals, but you're not taking in what other people think, period. Like they can think whatever they want, but that's not what you think. Your thoughts, your mind is up above where others can even access and tell you right or wrong. You know it by how it feels. You know what's right by how it feels. You know what's true by how it feels. And at this point, the strength, the Nine of Wands, the strength of your convictions is undeniable. And I feel that as the tipping point that this reading is helping to bring about, is that you are learning to trust, like this Page of Pentacles, this new earthly beginning. Like basically I'm seeing that your path through this life is going to be completely different as you melt into this higher knowing, this intuitive knowing, and this higher mind where you don't let other people's doubt infiltrate what you know. And that is because you know it by how it feels. And that when you feel this intuitive hit that says, go to dinner at this place, at this particular place, right here, right now, go sit at the bar, have a dinner, have a drink, and that following those intuitive hits, those little impulses, those little nudges, like, oh my gosh, you know what? I haven't had drunken noodles from that Thai place I love in like 3 months. I'm gonna go there today. But I don't have anybody to go with. You know what? I'm still gonna go. I'm gonna go by myself. And at worst, you have a nice meal. At best, who knows what's waiting for you along the journey to get there, once you get there, on the journey, once you leave. You don't know. You don't know. Like I'm feeling very Seven of Cups, like you don't know what will spill forward out of what you choose. So you might as well sink in to which of these paths feels the most lit up to my intuition, and let me take that path, even though I have no clue what's waiting for me as I go there, and I have no logical reason to support why I would need to go there at this time. But I am gonna go. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna discover what's waiting for me that my intuition was guiding me towards. And with that kind of mindset, with that kind of navigational system, like I'm almost getting the sense that like this Page of Pentacles, like this is like almost a compass, and that your true north was once upon a time pointed to somebody else's knowing of things that you really trusted, like whether that was your mom or some other parent or some other authority figure. Like your true north was what they knew, what they believed to be true. And this manifestation, this what is coming to life at this time for you right now, again, it could be today, well, it is today, whenever you're finding this message, that your true north is pointing back to you. Your true north is being like your entire compass is shifting. The magnet inside your compass is shifting away from what other people tell you is true and back onto what you know, what your higher self is downloading into your being, what you know in your bones to be true. Not because somebody told you it was, but because your expanded self downloaded the knowing into your vessel. You can trust that, pile number 3. You have been practicing it for a long time. You've built up such strength with trusting your intuition, and this message of nurturing, hopefully it's wiggled loose one little bit more that allows one little bit more of your intuition to come forward, and that you will continue that process and that practice of listening to your intuition and then finding the magic. Like you'll find what you seek, finding the magic that waits for you on that path. Oh, pile number 3, this has been your reading. If you liked it, please give me a thumbs up. I would love to hear from you and connect with you down below as far as how all of this lands. I would love for you to come back and tell me about your Knight of Cups, like this person who's coming in to really elevate how precious you know yourself to be. Like, I'm very much, oh wow, this is like an add-on piece, a little bonus. I'm very much hearing that, like, the reason that this is all coming together is one message, this person who's coming, this beloved, and this message of listening to your intuition. You need to be grounded in your intuitive knowing, inside this, like, what is your expanded self downloading into your being. You have to be grounded inside of that, because when they start telling you how lovely you are, how beautiful you are, how precious you are, you need to be grounded in that higher self knowing, because otherwise you won't be able to hear them. You won't believe them. They are going to make such a fuss over you that if you don't have the seconding, the backup of your spiritual support coming through you loud and clear to let you know, like, that's real, that's true, that what they just said about you being like one of the most beautiful light creatures on this planet, that is true. What they just said about your beauty being like nothing they've ever seen before, that's true. Your intuition will whisper to you as they give you this loving reflection, and without your intuition, they're going to sound full of shit. But they're not. They're just speaking a version of the truth that your higher self has access to, and your higher self will be able to tell you one way or the other if you can believe what they're saying. So rather than just taking them at face value, listen inside of your own heart, inside of your own intuition, to hear the confirmation that what they're saying is true or not true. And that really does go for everybody, but especially this beloved that's coming to you, that's going to have so much love to shower on you, pile number 3. This is so exciting. Oh, it's your time. You deserve this. You're ready for this. This is the next level of basically what I'm hearing is like, you've fallen in love with yourself to such a degree that in order to continue to level that up, you need an outsider's reflection. You need an outsider's perspective, someone who's able to see even more of your love than you can, will help to open up your ability to hear your higher self and the love that they have for you more and more and more. Pile number 3, this was amazing. If you liked it, please give me a thumbs up. I would love to hear from you down below. If your intuition is guiding you into any of the other piles, or possibly what I linked under the timestamp for pile number 3, please check that out now. Your intuition absolutely knows exactly where to take you next. Pile number 3, this reading was absolutely my pleasure to be able to deliver to you today on behalf of Mother Moon. Oh, thank you so much for being here, and I will catch you on the next reading. Bye.